right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome everyone here to the State of Synth. My name is Dennis G.
And I'm Neon Fox.
Hello, Mr. Neon Fox. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
That's good.
What is it? Second episode of our new season.
It is indeed. We have a wonderful guest here. We have the Mr. Street Cleaner, the Mr.
Mr. Cleaner.
We can call you Jesse, right? We're friends like that. Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I always have to
Sounds
check. I never know sometimes, and I'm like, what do we call it? Well, sometimes like the artists just don't even give us their name like ever. Like
when you're talking to Makeup and Vanity Set, you're like, so Makeup. How's
right? Or what Jules usually? Yeah, Jules always.
Mr. Set.
Jules always takes the last part of the artist name and makes that their last name. So it's like Mr. Glove,
Mr. Cleaner.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Mr. Ship, Mrs. Gunn, and Mr. Ship.
Mr. Vinsky. It's
Mr. Vinsky.
But yeah,
Can I call you Cav? Okay, Cav.
We've had you on the show. I know we've had you on. I feel like this is the third time we officially had you on the State of Synth, and I
think so, yeah.
Yeah, I've had you on for an interview like a long time ago. Might have been involved with the 80s guy. I don't know. You just keep coming back. We love it because you're awesome. You're fun. You got a lot of things going on. You got this cool game going on, and like, you know, we'll talk about that, you know, when we get to it.
Woo.
But yeah, how's things over there in the old west side of the US?
San Diego.
Yes, is that where you're at?
Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. We got 109 today.
Oh.
109.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Oh, that's so nice.
We've been.
You know, Toronto is doing okay for weather, but I don't think we cracked 100 at all.
109 is crazy. That's like Vegas. I guess you're like on the same realm of like Vegas. What is it on like the what's that line? The not the Mason-Dixon line. The equator. Is that what it is?
The San Andreas Fault or something.
Something like that. Yeah, where like above it, it's like super cold, and like below it, it's like, you know, super hot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I live inland a little bit in San Diego, so it's funny because, you know, if you just go 15 minutes over the little ridge line there, you get to the coastal areas and the temperature will drop just immensely. You know,
like 20 degrees, I would say. That's how it is in Jersey.
Yeah.
Well, very good. We're glad that we can connect and just talk about some awesome things. I know you have a ton of stuff going on, so we're going to get to that. We're going to play a track before we do, just to kind of warm things up here. And I think this one's kind of an appropriate. Of course, Jules is switching things around right now on the fly.
I'll tell you why. First of all, I want to remind our
why.
listeners that we are live. So
yes.
If you're in the chats, if you're in the nightride.fm IRC chat, or if you're in the YouTubes and you're in the chats, pop in and say hi. We already have a few people in the chats, and that's why, Dennis, I'm jiggling around the track order on you.
Jiggling the handle a little bit there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got
it. So over in the YouTubes, we've got Colors who joined us.
There we go.
Hey. We were going to play his track at the end of the show.
Yeah.
I don't want to make him wait 2 hours if he's popped into the chat. So we'll kick it off with his track.
Let's kick it off with that track, yeah.
Before we do, I want to say hi to Johnny 5.
Johnny 5.
Who's alive and
yes.
in the IRC chats, as well as Hearts in Beta. Yeah. My friend Temporal Waves from Montreal is in the chats.
Hey.
As well as Coffin Dragger.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
The Mr.
Coffin Dragger. The caffeine drugger.
Yeah. I hate vowels.
And hi to Spew as well.
Hi,
in the IRC chat. With a name like that, I can never tell if it's Rex. I don't think it is.
No.
Rex more harsh.
Rex has been behaving lately. He's been logging in as his own handle. You know, sometimes he'll have a slight variant, but we can always tell it's him.
All right.
Yes.
So let's kick it off with some music.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're going to kick it off with a track from LA artist Color's latest album, Everything's Temporary, which is now available on New Retrowave. So head over to newretrowave.bandcamp.com. It's the first thing you'll see. And we picked this track This is Colors with Closer, featuring Jocelyn Cortez, right here on Night Ride FM.
I see you from across the room. You're staring at me. Your smile resonates within. We're full of possibilities. We're moving in a little closer. The beat hits both our chests. We're coming in a little closer. And there's something I must confess. Yeah, there's something I must confess. I just wanna dance with you. I just wanna dance with you. Just a little bit closer. Just a little bit closer. I just wanna dance with you. I just wanna dance with you. Just a little bit closer. Just a little bit closer. Come run away with me when no one else can see. In a kaleidoscope of colors, I just wanna dance with you. 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 Just a little bit closer. Just a little bit closer. Just a little bit closer.
And there it is, Colors featuring Jocelyn Cortez with Closer. And yeah, I like that tune. It's just
Beautiful.
it's just nice and chill, you know. It's good vocals and it was very good. So very nice.
It dropped August 16th.
Did it?
It was 4 days ago, and
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
We're on hot on the what's the word? I have no I
You're on
feel
the
like
you're on the skibbity riz, man.
I don't know what it is. I'm just like, I think I'm so used to doing 6 o'clock shows. Once we get to like 9 o'clock our time, I don't know. I get a little sleepy. I don't know what it is. I need a little perk.
By the way, we
me
were talking in the YouTubes, and that track had, for me, it had like the perfect retrowave synth going on in the background.
Yeah.
Beautiful vocals. In Colors, he put a delay on the kick, which apparently is not normal.
Is that not normal?
I don't know. I don't think so. But it's supposed to sound like a heartbeat, he says.
Ah, look at that. That's nice. Very nice.
Quick shout out to Karen Zoe Lee, who's joined us in the chat.
Hey, Karen.
As well as Drowning in Waves, who's also over in YouTube.
Very cool, very cool. All right, so yes, we are once again here talking with Mr. Street Cleaner. And yeah, man, you got. I don't even know where to start. We have
Okay,
notes, but I usually don't follow them.
Last time we had you on, that was I think it was June 2023. We had you on as a guest.
Oh wow,
And,
you're right.
So, what have you been doing since then?
Yes.
So what have I been doing? I really dialed back the live shows. Not just I'm doing some good fun ones. I think since then I got to play here in San Diego with I did like a Comic-Con thing because we got Comic-Con.
Oh, that's right.
I played a show with Sierra. Went to Seattle. I got to play the Hail Santa Festival last Christmas. And awesome. I discovered this new blind spot in my life called Neotropolis. Which
yeah.
I don't know, like it existed all around me. And when I got there, it was just like this gathering of all of these people I'd met throughout my travels, from all corners of the country, that like, wow, you're here, like I met you in Richmond, Virginia. Wow, you're here. I met you in Baltimore. Wow, you're here. I met you in, Portland, Oregon, that kind of thing. And all these folks, it's like, and people have been telling me about it before, but, it wasn't until like and I'll be honest, like I guess I kind of had this misconception of what it was until I got there, and I was just like, I can't believe it. I've missed 2 of these already, and now it's like I feel like
it's like
no,
I'm like Cyberpunk Burning Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure. But now it's like it's so much more than that. I'm like, wow, I want this to be part of my life now because this is so like I'm literally modifying one of my cars now so that I could drive it, in down there in Neotropolis next year, and
the one you played at did Starcadian play?
Yeah, I think I played the day before him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did play.
There's also Knight Rider. There was
they played. So I think like Megatronics, Starcadian, Knight Rider, Starfarer, me. There was a Eclectotron, which is like the so many people turned up for Eclectotron, and I think it was like their 3rd or 4th show. But they were like they embody the whole Neotropolis aesthetic thing, VHS Celebs.
Oh yeah, I love those guys.
I love their track Big Mistake.
Yeah, I got to meet those guys, and they were awesome. They were in my little camping pod. Nice. And then Shiny Toy Guns showed up and did some stuff. It's pretty cool as far. I mean, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more. Even as far as music and just live stuff, just things going on. Like it's mind blowing. And I really hope Jared the patriarch of the
showrunner.
I don't know what's the right, the godfather, the granddaddy of the project.
The great humongous of the Wasteland.
Well, he also does Wasteland Weekends. So that's his other thing. So
nice.
so it's really cool. I really wish that project the best, and I hope to be part of it every year, in some capacity or another, whether I'm performing or just supporting somehow. It's pretty awesome.
I think Karen was invited to DJ. She didn't. She couldn't make it down, but she was invited to DJ.
Yeah,
that makes me think, Dennis, we should just get the whole Night Ride crew to go down there.
Yeah,
and DJ.
I just want to go there so bad.
Yeah, so I mean, we'd need to get a group of people together. I'll get there early and stake out a spot, and we'll have our own like little faction. You know what I mean? Like,
nice.
We'll have our own faction. We'll like a roll. We'll roll deep. We'll mob through. We'll dominate on the nerds. Like.
Yes, I'm loving it. I do. I think of all the events, that event is probably going to be the one that is just going to drive me crazy until I just get there and do it. It's like, isn't it like 2 or 3 days like out there in the desert?
So it's normally, I guess it the first couple of years I think it was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but it's grown. So this year it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and so like it ballooned up a little bit, and like what's crazy is Thursday was just popping. It was just so huge and massive. I was just like, wow, this is incredible. I had no freaking idea that the following day was just going to be so much bigger than that, and it was just wow, it was so incredible, and it's pretty awesome. What's funny is I guess they're cursed every single year. There's a different thing. I guess the first year was the heat wave that blasted through. The second year was rain, like a monsoon popped in. This year it was insane winds, and like I gotta say, like, wow. So I mean, I get to camp inside of a van with a full-on mattress and all that stuff, so I'm comfy. But even inside that van, the wind was just whipping it around so loud, and wake up the next morning and see how many porta potties and tents and stuff. Like people lost so much because of that wind, and they had to delay the music so late that following day just because like it wasn't safe. The stages are way raised up. It's really a crazy setup,
yeah, they're like raised up high, and like I know like
there's multiple of them. They're like on these catwalks. It's perfect for Street Cleaner because Street Cleaner got to walk around and go from catwalk to catwalk, and the keytar and all that stuff, it's wireless, so it's going to work, as long as I'm within, 30 yards of the receiver, and so, rad. And going around and just, getting able to take every vantage point was pretty amazing. But
did you have your mask and lasers working?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, everything was working. Everything was, 5x5. It was all pretty rad, but the laser
5x5.
Everything really, lasers don't really work without fog, and when you're outdoors and it's a little windy, lasers not gonna. I don't know. But I did frisbee a lot of records and CDs and copies of the video game out at people. If you weren't paying attention, you'd get a
whack upside the head,
CD upside the head. Look at me. I am the performer now. Look at me.
I gotta say, I love your performances. I think you're probably one of the funner performances that I have seen, like in the way that you interact with the crowd, and of course, like all the original ideas that you have. Of course, the one coup de grace was during the pandemic with the behind the actual street cleaner
walking through the parking lot.
Like the lengths you go to just put on these like batshit crazy shows is just amazing. And
like I love it's like I'm very uncomfortable. I'm a very uncomfortable, very nervous, anxious person, and I feel like the only way that I could diffuse that is by being in on the fun, and that's what I have to do, like to make myself feel at home on stage, is to try to bring people up to my level and try to get myself, up to everybody else, down to everyone else's level. You know what I mean? I try to even that out and stuff. Right. And and I got like I played this show. I was opening for Stabbing Westward, and there was this middle middle-aged guy who was dead center. He had his arms over the barricade. He had the grumpiest look on his face, his arms crossed, and he was just, he made it very clear that like listen, nerd, like I'm not here for you. I'm here for Stabbing Westward, And so it was just like, you know what? I have tunnel vision now. My goal is to like be this guy's best friend by the end of my 45 minutes, and like just being able to just like turn this guy from everything, and you got to make jokes out of it, like I've got a couple little parts of songs that need a little bit more. I guess there's not, I mean, it's weird to say it, but I guess there's not really a whole lot of playing going on. Yeah. So I can do other things during that time rather than stand there and stare at somebody or act like I'm too aloof or cool and look at my watch or something, like, no, I'm going to hop down. I'm going to hop down. I'm going to pull the beer bottle out of your hand and I'm going to use it to play like a slide guitar solo on my guitar, like that's what we're going to do. And don't worry, you'll get your beer back and we're going to be best friends. It's going to be good.
I love it. I gotta say, like the first time I seen you play was at Neon, and hopefully they're gonna have another Neon. If not, then I think I'm gonna use my synthwave, card and just try to get myself over to Neotropolis, because I couldn't believe the amount of performance that they had, and you were there, and Starcadian was there, and like I was like, what? That just doesn't even happen in the same show. So yeah, definitely too much fun to be had all over the United States.
Yeah, one thing that I really pushed for was I talked to Jared, and I was like, hey, we need to do a group photo. Like, we need to get everybody who's performing and get everybody into a group photo. And you would think just putting the word out, okay, hey, everybody, this here at this place at this time, like, let's do this group photo. But it would be easy, but it's not, like but we were able to pull it off.
Surprise! It was not
Neon
as easy
in
as you
Tampa.
thought.
I wanted to do this thing where we got everybody who was there, who we knew from Synthwave, like the artists and the fans who we knew from Synthwave socials. I wanted to get them all out in the parking lot to recreate the end credits to Buckaroo Banzai. And you know how hard we couldn't do it. It was like wrangling cats.
First of all, like, everyone's Googling what is Buckaroo Banzai.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God, Peter. Well,
better not be Googling, or you got to turn in your Synthwave card.
Yeah, exactly. That's I got a Buckaroo Banzai piece of trivia for you. Watch out, man.
Come for the street cleaners, stay for the Buckaroo Banzai trivia.
Yeah. So in 2001, Samsung put out a DVD player called a Nuon, Nuon, right? And I'm sure Jules knows about the Nuon, right?
No.
Okay, so it was Samsung's way to basically, so what else came out in 2001? That would be the PlayStation 2. Then it had a built-in DVD player.
Right.
The Xbox came out, that had a built-in DVD player. And so, but the thing was those were gaming systems with the added bonus of having a DVD drive in it. Samsung didn't get the memo, and they said, "Hey, we have a DVD player." So they made a special DVD player that had a video game system built into it, which was pretty much the Atari Jaguar. So they
I know this.
Dude, you want one? I have one. I'll send it to you.
Crazy.
I'm not kidding. I'm touching it right now with my hand. I'll mail it to you. You have to find a controller for it, though.
I also have to find the box. I only collect things in the original boxes.
Yeah, he's a purist.
Oh, damn. I'm reading about it right now.
So it was an Atari Jaguar that was built into a DVD player. And they literally, Samsung and Toshiba, they were like, yeah, we're going to compete with PlayStation 2.
Oh my God.
So I think they officially released like 5 games for it, which were just like repackaged versions of Atari Jaguar games like Ballistics and Tempest 2000 and stuff like that, right?
Those were pretty bad. I mean, because the Jaguar had its own CD player, right?
Yeah. Which, I mean, there were a handful of really great games for it, but it's just, it's tainted. But anyways, so stick with me here. One of the selling points, though, was because Samsung, Toshiba, or whatever had a little bit of pull when it came to publishing movies, that they were able to convince whoever owned Buckaroo Banzai to re-release the movie on DVD from VHS, put it on DVD, and add a special playable option in the menu. So if you have the Buckaroo Banzai DVD that came out in 2001, and you put it in a Nuon, there is a playable Buckaroo Banzai video game in the menu.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they only did that with 2 movies, Buckaroo Banzai and that really awful Planet of the Apes remake.
Oh
my God, you're right. So yeah, there was only 4 DVD releases utilized Nuon technology.
Is that the only way to play that game?
So there was The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai, Bedazzled, Dr. Dolittle 2, and Planet of the Apes. And then, as you said, they released a bunch of the Jaguar games like Tempest 3000, Freefall, Space Invaders, Iron Soldier.
Oh my God!
Yeah, Iron Soldier,
that is insane.
Oh man, how did
But I mean, I was a Jaguar collector, so that's why I went down the rabbit hole on Nuon, because I was trying to do the whole like complete collection Jaguar thing, and I got really close, but then things get prohibitively expensive, and you end up having to pay bills and stuff. But
yeah, that bill stuff creeps up on you.
Funny enough, but you can play Doom on it too. But
of course you can.
Yeah, you can play Doom on a toilet now.
What do you think I'm doing right now?
All right, well, while you're on the toilet, and speaking of video games, we're going to talk a little bit later on about your new game that we're just totally stoked about, and a couple surprises, a couple fun little nuggets that I think is really cool that people are going to really enjoy. But in the meantime, let's dig into another track. Jules, I know we have some tracks lined up here, and this is one we picked, right? We picked this one?
Yeah, we picked this one. This is it's from your Two Graves album that was released in April this year.
Okay.
And which is nice and dark. And we picked I picked this track, Field of Blades, because it's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So yeah, here it is. This is Street Cleaner with Field of Blades right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was Field of Blades by Street Cleaner.
That's me!
False ending. Hold on. There we go. You got a little, just like a little do-do-do-do-do-do melody at the end that I totally talked over. But it's good. I like that. Very nice.
So, Colors was tuned in and he was like, he recognized that piano.
Yeah, hey, Colin. Hey, when are you gonna release that remix, Colin? Huh?
Hey, huh? When, huh? When, huh?
You're being called out, Colin.
Yeah. I said off the air. If Colin and John Oates started a project, it would be Colin Oates. Yeah.
I have a new sampler too. I wasn't quick on the draw, but I have the new because this is like a very fancy radio show. I have now a drum stinger, so I totally forgot about. I could have hit that like 4 times already, but
I thought you got to get Hall & Oates samples, like a little no can do. I can't go for that.
I also got this one too. I got this one. You can't hear it on your end, but it's the old what is it that David and Kaylin do all the time when they go burr, 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 burr.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, I totally got, you gotta have new toys for the new season. So I loaded up a couple fun samples that I'm going to just sprinkle in as we talk and chat.
Colin says he's working on it.
I'll believe it when I see it, bub.
All right, so we're gonna pivot back a little bit. We're gonna talk about the Street Cleaner 3. We're gonna just deep dive into this because this is so cool. I love the first Street Cleaner. Then Street Cleaner 2 is
well, let me tell you about 3. Street Cleaner 2, okay? So
what?
I'm so confused right now.
After the runaway success of Street Cleaner the video game, the whole video game landscape had just changed. It was, we were having all of these AAA companies just at their knees, of
course.
And we're just, and I didn't reply to any of their emails. I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, Microsoft, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing big kid shit. Meanwhile, we were approached by a company called Tiger. They make handheld electronics.
Yep.
And
that's right.
and I'm like, yeah, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go with the big dogs, and
yeah, forget myself. Go with Tiger.
Wait a minute.
And and so we developed basically like, so what? How does what's the world of Street Cleaner? Because the world of Street Cleaner the video game is a little bit different than the world of Street Cleaner. The music, which is a little bit different than the cinematic universe of Street Cleaner. They all exist and weaving in and out of each other. But
right, is it like an alternate timeline that you have in like the game lore versus the music lore, or is it just? Well,
here's the thing: is like Street Cleaner's dead. Like he died. Like if you played the Street Cleaner the video game, he dies at the end, and like there's nothing you can do to avoid that. Like it's I hate to tell you, it's scripted. You can be as good as you want, but you're gonna die, and that's how it's supposed to end. And so how do we make a sequel to with a character that's dead? So what we did is we made the most comprehensive fishing game we could. And put that on the Tiger handheld. It was really, really, really huge in like Baltic Sea regions, Finland, Estonia. They really got into it, but it just, unfortunately, due to marketing and such, we weren't able to release it here in the United States, and because of contracts, we were kind of tied up with that. So, if you're up there in in the Scandinavian area and stuff, I'm sure that you'd see it at every single checkout.
Right, they keep it on their boats and. In the chairs when they're
So Street Cleaner 3 is probably the single most ambitious project that I've ever worked on with Brooks, my partner over at Creaky Lantern Games, and we're going back to basically we're making a true sequel to Street Cleaner the video game, and this is going to pick up where the first game left off. So you don't begin. Yeah, obviously it's called Street Cleaner 3. Right. So Street Cleaner is going to be in it, or is he? So you'll have to play the game to find out exactly what's going on. And so 2 years ago, I had written a script for it because now we're going full cutscenes, full, lots of dialogue, lots of in-game lore, Easter eggs up the wazoo, There's so much subtext in the game that you know, you might pick up, you might not. I mean, there's so much stuff where if you go one way, you might see a note pinned to the wall, and if you read it, it might give you some more information about the world and what's going on. You know,
that's cool.
A real like don't dead open inside kind of like thing. You know, there's a lot of stuff to it. We've also built this whole like system of phone calls and stuff that isn't necessary to beat the core game, but if you wanted to get into that next almost meta layer of the game, you'll have to, you know, basically pull out a piece of paper and write down phone numbers while you're playing the game, and then use those phone numbers at the phone booths in the game to do various things. Yeah, so, you know, and so it's really ambitious, and it's well, yeah, we definitely get there. It's definitely meta.
Where do they find the numbers? Like, are they written on like bathroom walls in the game and stuff like that? You have to like.
Sure. I mean, it can be as easy as an advertisement on a bus bench or written on walls and stuff. There's also going to be stuff hidden within the game. You know, I know that in Street Cleaner, the video game, we actually put cheats, not cheats, but like secrets in the music. So if you used a spectrogram, you could actually find codes that would unlock other playable characters and stuff like that, which served to be a little difficult because it's been several years, and just now I think someone finally, a French Canadian guy who came out of nowhere, ended up just deciphering everything, almost like he took it really to heart about how to decipher all these things himself.
Oh, I love it.
And yeah, but I mean, but this one, it's going to be a little bit more overt, you know, not as you know, deep, and there's going to be so much more. There's going to be a whole layer to the game that most people probably won't see, and that's fine. You know, if you want just a good platformer, but you don't even start playing the game as Street Cleaner. You start as this new character that Brooks and I designed. Her name's Sunoko, and I always hate so we're doing the opposite of things that bug us in video games. You know what I mean? And so like in every single game, whenever you get a brawler, it's always some big buff dude who walks slow, you know? And so we're like, fuck that. Like, we're going to get, I'm sorry, am I not allowed to cuss?
Oh, no, this is indie radio. You can swear away.
Okay. Yeah. So like, you know, no, fuck that. So we have a wonderful, you know, a Japanese-esque schoolgirl who is our brawler, and she's not slow. She runs, she climbs walls, she kicks ass, you know, like she uses her fists, her feet, you know, she has projectiles and stuff, and she's literally, she hopefully, I'm hoping that she'll be the main for a lot of people, because she's just so powerful, and that's how you start the game as. And then what her role is in this game, you'll have to play the game to find out exactly how is she tied to Street Cleaner, and what does she have to do? Like, because, you know, Street Cleaner's dead. Obviously, he died in the first game. So what does this all have to do with everything? And then, you know, along the way, you know, she picks up more people. You end up having a little gang, which we call the Street Cleaner 3. And with those 3 characters, you could cycle through them with the L and R buttons at you know, whenever you want. You know, you'll be locked into certain characters at certain times, but that's so infrequent that you may not even notice it.
So you get 3 characters instead of one, like 3 for the price of 1. You get toggle them.
So you can
different skills, different powers
throughout the game at any time.
At any time, yeah. If you have to pick them up. So if you get a new person in your crew, you know, which Cogex he was the bad guy in the first game, and now he's going to be a playable character in this game. And you know, he walks slower. He's got the whip, which has a really long range, and it's got a really, you know, a damaging attack. But you know, he's slower, and he's not going to jump as high, you know, and stuff. He's more of like the tank. He can also walk through fire and walk on spikes, while the other characters won't be able to. And his projectile has a kind of like it's a cog. He throws like a gear, and it will basically destroy anything in its path, and then it'll bounce backwards. And the way that the levels are designed, you'll actually you'll never have to switch to another character. But if you're smart, you'll switch to another character, use that character's projectile, it'll clean out a whole room, then switch back to to a different character and use that to get on a platform, and switch to a third character so that you can climb this wall, because only one character climbs, only one character is impervious to fire. And then you have the street cleaner character, which plays pretty much the exact same as the first street cleaner game, where he's got a dive kick that is, if you master that dive kick, it makes the difficulty trivial. You can just Donald Duck your way. A Scrooge duck your way through the whole game.
It's all about the dive kick. I remember that from Street Cleaner 1. With the dive kick, you could just smash everybody's face in, and that's fun for me. I like that.
So apparently, Hearts Beta hasn't beat the final boss yet. So
no,
Street Cleaner's still alive for him.
Right? Yes. Spoilers. You'll get all of them on the show. But speaking of Street Cleaner 1, I think this next track we're gonna play, Jules. This is indeed from the
video game number 1. So it's from your music from and inspired by Street Cleaner, the video game.
There you go. Why don't we give that a little play, and then we'll talk about some fun things. I still want to talk about a couple more things with the game, and then we'll have some fun. But yeah, let's drop this track real quick. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So I gotta ask though, the music from and inspired by Street Cleaner, the video game. So these tracks are in the video game number 1.
So everything. So okay, I gotta think about it because it's been a few years. Music from and inspired by Street Cleaner, the video game. I think the first 4 tracks are full-blown renditions of in-game songs. So
okay, good.
They're songs that are in the game.
Radio worthy then.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, let's play one then. So we picked the second track from the album. This is In This Together, and this is from, I guess it's the radio version of a track from the video game, Street Cleaner, the video game, right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was In This Together by Street Cleaner. Yes, I love
That was from the very first video game.
That's a lot of fun.
Now, behind that song, we were talking about Street Cleaner 3.
Yes.
A little bit more about Mr. Number 3.
The number 3.
And you were talking about there's phones, once again.
Yeah.
There's phones in the game.
So we needed a way to. So there was phones in the first game, and they served as a checkpoint. And they carried over into this game too. They're also checkpoints. So when you walk past a phone, that's going to save your spot there in that level. So if you die, you're going to start back from where the last phone was. But also a way to kind of like future-proof ourselves. Like so a lot of times, we want to add stuff later, but it's kind of hard to it's kind of, I don't know, everybody's had that thing where they've had a game that they've installed that had DLC. And the DLC drops as soon as you start the game, so you don't know what the heck you're supposed to be doing, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Right.
So our idea was that there's going to be DLC, which is going to be free. We're never going to charge for that, but we always continue to add stuff after the game's been published. We continue to add more, and for people to access that, we'll give you a phone number.
So wait a minute, is this from
Yeah.
Street Cleaner, the video game, the first one you can use these things?
No.
Just in the future?
That's going to be in this new one.
We're
going to give you
the third one. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to give people phone numbers, and so hopefully, so say we add another skin or another playable character or something like that, something pops up, I could post on Threads or something like that, or like, hey, here's this new phone number. You want to play as so and so or whatever? We added this new character and put this phone number in the game.
That's
and
so
to
cool.
unlock this character. And then from that was birthed this whole idea of like, there's so much more we can do with this phone, like there's so much more we can do with it. And so being able to, there's people in the synth community that I have grown affection for, and definitely you two are definitely way up there. And so I was trying to figure out how I could get you guys in the game, and so I was saying that I had put a Night Ride FM billboard up,
yes.
and then to see it show up in Turbo Kid, I was like, okay, so now I got to scrap that and do something different. And but also at the same time, Dennis was nice enough to record some messages. So you're organically, hopefully, playing the game, or you're going to find a phone number, and if you write that down and you get to any phone, you can dial that phone number, and you'll be able to hear Dennis really, really passionate about something in particular.
I love it. I was.
I wonder what you'd be passionate about, Dennis.
I think we should share it with people.
Yeah.
We actually do have two of these Easter eggs.
Let's play the first one.
All right. First of all, I gotta say, this is just so cool. First, I'm an old school gamer. I've been playing since the Atari 2600. And when you approach me, hell yeah, I was one of the first people to respond. I'm like, I'll get this to you by the weekend, because I wanted in. I always wanted to be a game dev, but onto different avenues and whatnot. But it's so cool that you are giving this opportunity to not only me, but all the cool people that are in the synthwave scene. I think that's just so cool, because it really is more about it's not just about video games. It's not about the music. Synthwave to me is it's a whole culture. It's the games, it's the music, it's the TV shows, it's a whole lifestyle. And I think it's cool that this is kind of a cool way to really pay homage or whatever. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I'm just so excited to play. But it's an honor to be in it. And yeah, I did my best.
Honor to have you. Thank you.
So yeah, we have two Easter eggs here, and this is my dumb voice saying something dumb, and I haven't heard this since I've delivered it. I think I delivered it about a year ago or something like that. But all right, here it is. Easter egg number one. That if you call, you will get me saying
the Dennis G Easter egg.
I don't even know how to set this up, so I'm just gonna play it.
Let me call this number.
All right. Boop, 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 boop.
Look, I already told you my name 3 times. This is Dennis G. I've been waiting for my pizza for an hour now.
Yes. So that was the first one. All right, so we're gonna do the second one here. All right, hang on. This is so ridiculous. All right, hold on.
Hello, is this the pizza guy again? You're 30 minutes late. I want my pizza.
I love it. So yes, that is my stupid ass voice. we had to do it about pizza though. I feel like it wasn't a night ride thing if it wasn't about pizza. So there
pizza
it is.
Means something completely different to all of us 40-something-year-old dudes. You know, like it was like driven into us that pizza was an identity. You know?
Yeah, and video games too. Like I feel like maybe it was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, whatever they're called. I can't say it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, I feel like that was like the whole thing because like pizza gave you like power. You know. It gave you extra lives, or in some instances, I feel like. Maybe I'm making that up, but you know, I guess that's all pizza gave you. But that was enough when you're playing a game. So that was a lot of fun.
We've got other cameos in there that we will, you know, that may not be there on day one, but you know, depending on how these phone numbers get, you know, released and stuff. We've got you know, stuff in there, Easter eggs from Watch Out for Snakes, Megatronics, Teal is in there. I think he Jim from Teal really delivered a lot. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to work all that in. You know, awesome. Circuit Preacher out of Virginia. He's an awesome dude that I met that really recorded some fun stuff. And the one of the more recent gets was Jason Trost for J-Tro from the FP series has recorded some stuff for us too.
Wow. You don't have any Beyond Synth in there?
Any Beyond Synth?
Like, Andy, yeah.
No.
Oh, you gotta hit him up, man.
Well, maybe I did hit him up. Maybe the ball's been in his court this whole time.
Andy, slow on the delivery? No,
not Andy.
Yeah.
But that's great. Like I'm totally stoked. Like I said, I'm gonna play the first game. I'm playing it tonight. I'm popping it on my Steam Deck, and it does play beautifully on the Steam Deck. So you guys didn't even design it for the Steam Deck, but it just
we designed it. It was a Switch game from day one. We were making a Switch game, and then you know, releasing it on PC was just kind of like I hate to say a byproduct, you know, but our main goal was
that was great. Yes, we have another track that we're going to play, but before we do, we do want to circle back a little bit because I believe this track was at one point to be played in the game, but it it didn't make the cut.
Are we gonna play the end
we
credits?
I believe yes, gonna play that one.
Okay, so yeah, I had recorded this about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, and this was the original end credits to the game, back to the original concept of how the game was going to end. It has completely taken a 180. Obviously, during development, we get new ideas sometimes, or we decide to add new features, and we can do bigger and better things. So this is a non-starter song, something that I have affection for, that I had a lot of fun writing. It's still in its kind of like demo phase a little bit. I don't think I'm going to complete it, but I thought it was, you know, something. I have feelings for this song. I love writing this song, and I play guitar on it, which I don't do often, even though it's not complicated. But we have a much different approach to how the game ends now. So this was the original ending, which I may put out on like a B-sides collection later down the line.
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
But yeah, it's exclusive to this here and right now, and won't be available anywhere else after this.
Nice.
State of Synth exclusive.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's play. First, a quick shout out to Starfarer, who's in the IRC chat.
There he is.
Starfarter, or as he names himself, Starfarter.
Oh.
All right, let's play it.
Yes.
This is the end credits, which isn't in the game, but could be on a B-side, and this is from Street Cleaner and Street Cleaner 3, the video game, right here on Night Ride FM.
And that was End Credits by Street Cleaner.
The alternate end credits.
The alternate end credits. I love it.
Lost.
It was a nice bop. I like the little boppy guitar that you got going. You played that guitar. That was really cool.
I played all 2.5 seconds of it, and then I looped it for the entire track.
That's the way.
So
to do
you
it.
mentioned the new soundtrack is going to be Chippy Tune.
Yeah, I know you've been working on mostly music for the game, right? Because you haven't been putting a lot of music under the regular stuff.
Actually no chip tune in the new game.
Really?
None. So so we're going with the first game was really we wanted to make the most authentic NES game that never came out, and that was like the whole thing, everything from the color palette to the pixel density to no sprite scaling and all that stuff, and it included writing an entire soundtrack in Family Tracker so that I could be completely authentic to what the Nintendo was capable of in 1988, And with this one, it's just all gloves off, and I've been writing the soundtrack. I've been writing the in-game music for this for a little over 3 years now.
Oh my god!
In your DAW?
Yeah. So it's all full blown. Like I have several hours of music that is in this game, and I just recently had to clip and compile it into what's going to be the next Street Cleaner album, which is close to an hour of all new unreleased stuff.
What's that DAW you're using again?
Good old what I'm using now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a FL Studio Fruity Loops, baby.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's Jules' little thing that he does every show.
Oh, he asks people what their DAWs are?
Yeah,
exactly.
I think he asked the same
You know
question.
what? 99% of our listeners are producers. So.
Yeah. I use Mod Plug Tracker, baby. Mod Plug Fast Tracker 2.
There you go.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, yeah. So I mean, that's the thing is like I've written so much music for this, and there's so many cutscenes and stuff that will have bespoke tracks and stuff written for just that one conversation or something, and there's a lot. There's some songs that will, and so we've actually upped it. We use Fmod for this new game, which allows me to make music dynamic to what you're playing. So if you know you're playing through a stage. Like in the first game, you'd get to a mid-boss, the music wouldn't change. Now, when you get to a mid-boss, the music can ramp up intensity, get a little bit more aggressive, get a little more dire kind of thing, you know. And then once you beat that mid-boss and go into the second part of the stage, you know, it could revert back, or in some cases go to a third track or something. You know, there's several stages where there'll be, you know, 4 different songs in that one stage, but they're all sewn together in a way to where they do kind of flow from one to the other kind of seamlessly. So, you know, originally we had the idea of it being a different version of a song depending on what character you had equipped at the time, which is something totally doable, but it would bloat the size of the game so huge, you know. Because still to this day, like still now, like the biggest chunk of the game is all, you know, audio as far as file size goes. So
yeah,
we had to keep that in mind.
What size do you have it at right now? If you know.
Oh, it depends where you measure from. If you measure from the base of the pelvis, you can. Shit. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, you.
Oh, okay.
Feet steamer. Stop it.
Yeah. We're not sure yet. We haven't even built a installable. We haven't compiled that down yet.
Okay, so you're still it's. I was gonna ask, like, when's it coming out? That's like the big question. Do you have a release date?
Q4 is the big aim, man. If we can do Q4, that would be rad. You know, ultimately, like when it's done, you know, sometimes, you know, life gets in the way. And that's another neat thing about, you know, the philosophy that Brooks and I have is when it's done, you know, but we wouldn't announce it if we weren't in home stretch, you know. So right now we're running between third base and home. So, you know, like that's where we're at, you know, and
you can wish list it right now on Steam.
That's the big thing. And thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Dude, wish listing is so important for us devs because it costs people nothing. It's a free thing that everybody can do. Add it to their wish list. And even if you don't plan on buying it, honestly, anybody who hits me up and says, "Hey, I'm strapped," I'll get you a download code. I've always done that. I'm not, you know, well, you know, I'm not like, you know, freaking Atlas Shrugged over here saying like, "Oh, well, you don't deserve it if you don't have, you know."
Objection of this, whatever they call it.
Right.
Yeah. You know, exactly. Objection. Yeah, it's a hard word, but like, you know what I mean? Anybody who hits me up after the game's out and says, "Hey, I really want to play your game," I'll hook you up. No sweat. It costs me nothing. So in exchange, I just ask if people could add it to their wish list because that tells the distributor that people are paying attention to our game. Because unfortunately, we're indie by choice. We've had plenty of opportunities to not be independent, but we are also of the mindset of we like not having lords telling us what to do, when to do, what to cut out, what to add in, you know, that kind of thing. And so it's kind of neat. What you're getting when you play Street Cleaner 3 is going to be entirely Creaky Lantern's vision. You know, it's going to be me, it's going to be Brooks, it's going to be what we've decided, you know, this is the best that we can do, and we're making such a labor of love for everybody. In exchange, we just ask that, like, hey, add us to your wish list. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you anything, and the more folks that we can get on there, the more you know, Steam will give us a little bit of attention. When the game's released, they may bump us up a little bit. You know, like when a game gets released, if it's on your wish list, you may not get an email about it if you're only one of like 3,000 people on that wish list. But if we can bump that number up, they'll say, "Oh, okay, so people actually do want this." So when we release the game, it'll notify folks, "Hey, this game's available." It'll pop it up on the front page of Steam so that people that are clicking through will be able to see it.
So
but yeah, I'll get off the soapbox.
I just posted the link in the chats.
Yeah, people listening live, click on the link, go to your Steam account, and wish list. Add. It's just a simple button you got to click. That's all you got to do. And if you are listening to us on Spotify or any of the other platforms, just go to, we all know, everybody's got Steam. You can go on Steam and wish list it for my good old buddy Jesse, because you guys pour your heart and soul, like you said. You really do. And you're doing like such a cool thing, like I said, with the Easter eggs and the cool codes and the playable characters and just all the fun things from within the synthwave scene that you incorporate. Like, I think it's great.
You don't see side-scrolling pixel platformers that have this kind of meta detail in them.
Yeah, definitely
it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really holding back some of the stuff that I really think would blow people's minds, because I want people to feel it and experience it like organically. So I just like, one of the raddest things ever is, Brooks is a mad genius, and he comes up with these ideas that seem really like, dude, I'll be real with him, like, dude, no one's gonna find this. And then, dude, a year and a half from now, someone will jump into our Discord and be like, holy crap, blah blah blah, and he'll just do one of those like, worth it, kind of, because, and so that's really something. If you play this game, it's easy to just play through it, enjoy it on that surface level. But if you have enough fun and you want to revisit stuff and dig deeper, you're going to find much more things to do in the game that are above and beyond, more than just finding an explosive wall with wall meat behind it or something. It's actually, we're going into things. But yeah, up into, getting really meta, and stuff. But ultimately, I'm just, I can't overstate how excited for this I am. And I don't think I've ever been more hyped for anything I've ever worked on my whole life than Street Cleaner 3. And it's like, when this game's gonna get published, and when it gets published, it's like one of those things like, I can rest on this now. You know what I mean? If I never do anything again, I'm glad that Brooks and I did this.
Well, I mean, after this, you'll make Street Cleaner 2.
Yeah. I really want that handheld. The more you say it,
a real big number 2.
I am headed. I am headed to Finland to go number 2. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm excited.
We're all dumped in a dump somewhere in New Mexico, right?
Under the gravel. I don't know.
Oh boy. Okay. Before we wrap this up, I want to talk. So you've been working on a video game.
Yeah. Have you been doing anything else? Like did you ever get out of your cave to do other things or watch other things?
Do you watch movies? Anything?
Oh man, I saw Deadpool in theaters twice in 1 week.
That was a good
How
one.
is it?
I'm somebody who's allergic to movie theaters. I hate going to movie theaters, but I had to go. I had to go see this. It's like one of those movies, like where I loved it so much, I had to go grab somebody and be like, no, you got to go see this. You got to go see this.
It was good. Yeah.
I'm so pessimistic about the Deadpool series. I'm just like, I roll my eyes and I'm like, oh, I hate it. Oh yeah. It's definitely winking at the camera the whole time. I hate this. And then I saw Deadpool 3 and I was just like, holy crap, this is everything a 90s kid could possibly want. Like anybody who spent their formative years watching all of those Fox movies, Daredevil and Elektra and Blade and Ghost Rider and all the Bryan Singer Fox movies and stuff, like they're so like those are the comic book movies that I feel like I grew up with, Right. And so I may have missed the boat on the whole like Marvel universe, but anyway, so this was great because this was like a little kiss on the forehead goodnight for that whole.
They circle back to the legacy stuff, which was I think what they needed to do.
So no Alien Romulus yet?
I've been waiting for someone to tell me I need to go see it. Then I'll go see it.
So
Jules, it's your time, man. It's your time to shine.
I'll tell you. Okay, as somebody who's deep into Aliens, the franchise.
You, Jules? No. You, Jules.
Let me tell you, I like this movie. It was great. The visuals and the environments and everything were like Alien, the first movie. It's like claustrophobic. It's retro technology and stuff. Your main characters are like, they're colonists. They're like blue collar and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Fede Alvarez, who knows how to make like tension and suspense and scares and gore, right? Now, the gore is not like his Evil Dead remake. It's not up to that level, which I think is good because it's not a gratuitous horror flick, right? It's an alien horror flick. But the movie is amazing. Like the first hour is a bit slow. It kind of builds the tension, and then it just goes buck shit wild like the second movie, Aliens. And I'll tell you, it's all majority, like 95% of this movie is practical effects.
All right, so Jules, if I was to see that movie, and let's just say hypothetically, I've never seen any of the Aliens movies.
You don't need to.
Fell asleep during the Prometheus one.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. So
what do I have to?
You don't have to have seen any of the Aliens movies.
Okay.
Although if you haven't seen Alien and Aliens,
I think I've seen that. I was like 5 though, so I don't know if that counts.
You need to fix that because those are the best movies ever made. But anyways, you don't need to see any of them.
Okay.
And I'll tell you right now, for anybody who's familiar with the Alien franchise, whether you like Prometheus and Covenant or not, this movie ties all 8. Well, not the 8.
Is it like the glue?
It ties them all together.
The alien glue goop stuff.
Yes, there's the black goo is in it.
The black goo. Yes. Okay.
And then the titular character, the alien, has never looked so good. It looks like the alien from the first movie, but fuck tons better. They used like real actors and animatronics and stuff, no CGI.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's fucking terrifying.
Practical,
and the face huggers in this,
practical
good God,
effects.
there's like a fucking army of face huggers chasing these people.
Yeah.
Jesus, it's nightmare fuel. And yeah, it's well worth it.
As scary as the aliens are, the face huggers were always the real like terror for me.
Yeah.
Like,
they're the ones that rape you technically. So.
Yeah, technically, yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm a real big Alien fan. You know, the order in which I love the movies is pretty much chronological, is when they come out almost. You know, but I swear the first 3 movies are some of the greatest films I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
And I do throw the third one in there just because of how beautiful and creative it was.
Well, it was also scary because it's chasing people through tunnels, right? So it had.
Oh yeah, and we're back to one alien again.
Yeah,
you know. It's
the assembly cut too. I don't know if you've watched that, but instead of birthing from a dog, it's from a cow. And it just works better, the assembly cut, because you get to learn some of the prisoners a little bit more too.
Yeah, it's just such a moody film. You know, I love it so much. And just like in the first movie, in the third movie, a lot of the tension comes from who you're trapped in there with. You know. Yes. Yeah. Other than Paul Reiser, you really didn't get that from the second movie so much. You know,
it's always like one jerk off guy, and he like ends up getting
here you'll like Alien Romulus then, because you've got a couple of characters. One's an asshole.
Right, you got to have one per movie, right?
Another girl, she's pregnant, and she's split off from the rest of them. Right. So she's got her own running going on, and then you got the best character in this is Andy the android, who's quirky. He glitches a lot, and
quirky androids.
I can't give away anything, but he steals the show.
You're starting to get me excited a little bit. I like quirky androids. So
and by the way, so I give the movie like a 7 out of 10 because there is some questionable CGI in it, and I won't say where. And the ending, you either love it or hate it. I loved it.
All right.
Yeah.
So how many neon foxes?
Bucket,
7.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Popcorn bucket is incredible.
I love this new fad of like bespoke popcorn buckets.
Oh,
you know,
this one beats Deadpool. Beats fucking what was the other one? Dune. Yeah.
I don't know if it can beat Dune. Yeah. That was pretty.
Got an alien head, and
that was a pretty popular one. I'm just saying.
And it's got a little handle, so you can. Oh, it's like.
That's why the Dune was popular.
So...
yeah. Okay. So anyways. Get the popcorn, see the movie, pregnant women and glitchy androids, and one alien.
All right. No. It starts with one alien.
One, and they multiply.
and a shit ton of face huggers, so you can imagine what happens later.
All right. I think I'm sold. Yeah, so movie time. Let's play some more music, and then we'll wrap up some things.
All right, we're going to play a tune, and then we'll come back and we'll say bye to you. We'll talk about your socials and your merch.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
Where to find it.
All right.
Nice.
All right, so
what do we have?
We're gonna go nice and chill now. We're heading over and playing a track from Manchester artist Beckett. He's got a new city pop album dropping August 30th entitled Soft City Glow. And it features some of the smoothest tracks ever. Of course, you can pre-order the album on Bandcamp, and you'll get tracks like this one. This is City Skyline, right here on Night Ride FM.
City Skyline by Beckett.
I love Dennis's smooth voice, his nighttime voice.
Yes. We're just having too much fun talking about video games and everything under the sun. Yeah. Borderlands bad, Halo bad.
There we go, the Halo theme.
But go see Aliens and go check out.
Do not go see Borderlands.
And wishlist Street Cleaner 3. Is it Street Cleaner 3 the video game or Street Cleaner?
No, it's just Street Cleaner 3.
Street Cleaner 3.
So if you head over to Mr. Cleaner's Bandcamp or your socials, the link to the Steam wishlist is right there.
Oh yeah, it's first. I put that foremost on absolutely everything I possibly could because that's literally the most important thing in the world to me.
You're on all the socials, right? You're on Twitter, you're on Threads, you're on Instagram.
As of 2 Mondays ago, I'm not on Twitter anymore. So I logged out. I didn't do the whole delete my account thing. I'm a Threads guy now.
Oh, this is my last tweet. I'm going to Threads.
All right.
That's what I said. Yeah,
that's what they all do. It's like, and then 2 weeks later, they're back on Twitter.
They're back.
It's like,
so you're also on ye old Facebook, and you're on Bandcamp. Your music is on all the streaming services wherever your distro will push it.
Yep. Yeah.
And of course, Steam.
Steam, yeah, and Nintendo.com.
Oh, that's right. It's going to be on the Switch.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first game's still on the Switch. If you wanted to play the first Street Cleaner, I do want to put out real quick. I know I talk about myself in the game a lot, but I guess this is the moment to do it. Mm-hmm. There's accessibility options in the Street Cleaner, the video game. That's the one that's came out in 2021.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So if at any point in time, you do really you're either not up for the challenge or something's just not clicking and you just want to explore the music and the visuals and have a good time, you can turn on any of the accessibility options if you want. If you want to be invulnerable or if you want to have unlimited bullets or something like that, that's stuff that you can turn on. And
Hearts and Beta, now you can beat that last boss.
Yeah, I mean, cool, and there's no shame in it. I mean, it's not like there's a finger waggy thing. Like, I know that a lot of games with accessibility modes will literally flash a thing in the screen saying baby mode or something stupid. Yeah, exactly. So we don't do that. We respect people. Celeste is one of our favorite games, and that's something they did that we decided to do as well, just because of how well it worked. Also, not everybody is really. I hate to say not everyone's created equal. We're not all created equal, and sometimes there's some of us that there are some games that I will just never be able to finish, and I really wish that I was built in a way that I could play through a Dark Souls or something like that.
Well, it's an NES throwback, too. Those games were hard back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Well, when it comes to being, like, difficulty-wise, it's not that hard compared to Battletoads.
Right.
You know what I mean? But compared to, like,
Ghouls
today's games, it may be a little difficult for some people. The new game is going to have more granular accessibility modes. So if you just kind of want to turn the difficulty down just a little bit, no sweat. If you want to turn it up and make it harder, you can do that as well. So that's definitely something we put a big importance on from the get-go, from the inception of the game.
That can't be easy too when it comes to coding a game. To make the code. Make code that can adjust based on certain settings and have the game still play correctly.
This Brooks will let you know, like if you because explained it to me. We were on like a little road trip thing a couple weeks ago, and it was just like sometimes just adding one simple little factor, like for instance, Deus Ex, those games when you start the game, it asks you in the very beginning, what kind of experience do you want? A challenge, or do you want to be told the story? And then you pick what version you want. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of tossed that out like, hey, what if we do this? And he was just like, do you understand the exponent that you just added onto the workload?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like it literally, it's not twice as hard. It's not 5 times. It's an exponent that will just blow every single thing that is programmed into the game will have to be taken into consideration and redone.
You've got if statements now everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On top of if statements, like ifception, and so it's yeah. So that's something that Brooks, did in the very beginning when incepting the game. That this is going to be granular as far as difficulty goes. We're going to have a baseline, and then people can adjust it from there. And you can do it mid-level if you want. You can do it if you're playing it normally, and then you just get to a boss that might be a little too difficult or something. Then you can tone it down and so on.
Oh, that's perfect. Man, that's the kind of game I like.
One final question: is the dog going to be in the new one? Or should we leave that up for
the dog? Yeah. So no spoilers. There's a motorcycle level. So that was one thing. A lot of feedback that we got was in the Street Cleaner, the video game, the interstitial that cut in between each stage was Street Cleaner would get on a motorcycle at the end of every stage, and then at the beginning of every stage he'd pull onto the screen and get off the motorcycle.
Right.
And everyone was like, "Hey, I want to play him. Like, I want to be on the motorcycle."
You want to play the game?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So that's definitely in Street Cleaner 3. You're going to be able to ride the motorcycle.
Oh, and, what about the dog though?
I just saw the dog. I just saw the dog, and
it's all about the dog, man.
If you look at this,
the dog is the reason you have to ride the motorcycle.
There you go.
I mean, isn't the reason, but you'll play it. When you play it, you'll realize how integral the dog is to the story. Without having to say a word, without talking to the dog, without really doing much with the dog is a very important part of the game.
Just a guy and his dog.
And as normal, if you stop to pet the dog, you will get your hearts back.
Nice.
So.
That's all I care about, because that was like integral for my playing experience. That was like the thing that just like helped me just get through the first level, which is all I've progressed so far. And I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I played a good amount of it. I haven't beat it yet, but like I said, I'm going on tonight. I'm gonna play through.
Well, and, I mean, if you like the dog, then can I suggest to anybody who beats the first game, just go ahead and watch the credits, and just let them play through. The credits are really short, so if you beat the game, don't just turn it off and go back to the menu. Go ahead and just watch the credits, and we put a little something there.
Well, there you go. Little nuggets here, left and
little
right.
Little dog-related stuff. Yeah.
So go out, get your
dog nuggets.
Go. This is everyone's
dog nuggets.
Dog nuggets. Oh my God. I think we just titled the episode. Get your Street Cleaner. And get the first one too, because that's going to warm you up for the second one. So get the first one, go fly to Finland, get the second one if you can barter it for a pound of mackerel, and then the third one is something you're going to have to pre-order, wish list, not pre-order.
Wish list.
Pre-orders are lame. Like nobody does pre-orders. It's all about the wish list.
The release date says Q4 2024. Yeah. Anything a little more exact?
You get it when you get it, Jules.
No, we're. I mean, ideally, we would have it out for Christmas. Ideally, but I don't want to make promises because then you're held to them.
Oh yeah.
True. So if something pops up and we're gonna have a better thing in January, we're not gonna release it in December.
There you go. You'll get it when you get it.
Get it when you get it.
And it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be tremendous.
It's tremendous.
Well, this was always
people are saying it's going to be tremendous.
This is always amazing to have you on the show.
Yes,
we always have so much fun. Go do all those things, and if you can get up to Neotropolis 2 for the next one, we're all going to meet. We're going to get our own little Night Ride FM bubble ecosystem.
We'll all crash inside Street Cleaner's van.
We will all crash in the van. Yes.
It'll be a big cuddle puddle in there.
Mr. Cleaner, thank you so much for being with us yet again on the show. It's always a privilege.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you guys.
And hold on 1 second. We'll say goodbye officially off air, but we're gonna go into another track here, I believe, Mr. Jules.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So we played Beckett Skyline, nice smooth track. Now I'm gonna throw some metal wave at you.
There it is.
Swedish metal wave artist Midnight Danger is back with a new power track, which is also accompanied by a very cool music video on New Retrowave's YouTube channel. So this is Midnight Danger with When Evil Follows, right here on Night Ride FM.
that was Midnight Danger with When Evil Follows. Yeah.
Check out the cool video. Midnight Danger's friend filmed it for him.
Yeah. Totally rad. Totally cool.
Wave.
Very, very cool. So, yeah, I think we are, at touring and events? Jules, speaking of tours.
Let's blast through some touring events. We gotta catch up. We've still got 3 more songs to play.
We do.
Before we end the night.
We always go along with Jesse. It's just, he's a fun guy. It's hard to...
All right, I'll kick this off. So, in my neck of the woods, Canada tour featuring Lucid Dreams. That's happening on the 16th.
Yeah.
So it's the 16th of August till the 30th. So I think he's in Montreal right now.
Yeah.
They are in Montreal, and this Friday they'll be in Toronto. So hopefully Karin will make it to Toronto. Karin, Zoe, Lee, and I will be DJing for them.
Oh, that's rad. Well, very cool. August 22nd, we have the Hollow Scene. We have Hotel Pools. I don't know why I said Hotel Pools. Hotel Pools, Svaro, and Makeup and Vanity Set. That is in Portland, USA. Very cool.
Cool. And we just heard Midnight Danger. They're on tour September 3rd to the 17th all over Europe. So check that out.
Very awesome. And September 4th through the 28th, we have the UK and Ireland. We have LeBrock and Wolf Club. That's going to be a pretty badass lineup there. So check that out.
That's cool. Over here in North America, Brother Tiger's on tour. This time he's going a little bit further than his last tour. He was like mainly small, like East Coast, right? This time he's got a bigger tour. So yeah, this is September 4th to the 9th, all over US and Canada. Brother Tiger.
We love that dude. September 6th through October 18th, we have the North American tour with the Midnight and Chromeo, and of course they are just romping all over the U.S. and Canada. So get your tickets. That's going to be a live show. I'm going to the one in
if
Philly.
There's tickets left.
Yeah, they're selling out pretty quick. So good stuff.
Let's see, October 5th, big thing going down in Denver, USA.
Yeah.
Synth Bangers 2024. It's going to feature, ready for this, Arcade High, The Bad Dreamers, Starfarer, Watch Out for Snakes, The Runaway Wild, Master Boot Record just got added.
Wow.
Jacket, as well as Cosmonic. And then there's going to be DJ sets from Bob Sink, DJ Tower, Jay Eric, and Nick V.
Nick V. Very cool. That sounds like a sick lineup. I would love to go to that one, but alas, it's not in the cards.
Only so many travels in our budget and time.
For sure. October 18th through November 19th, we have the tour.exe. Speaking of Master Boot Record, he is touring Europe, so you can check that out if you're in Europe.
And then, let's see, November 12th to December 15th throughout the U.S. and Canada, Dance with the Dead is on tour again, and this time they're bringing along Corrine.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with
Christine. Corine. Yes. So, very good. And last but not least, we have December 9th through March 21st. So that'll bring you into the new year. We have the Pressure Point Tour with the Mr. Ali Ride, as we were saying, either on air or off air. I can't remember. That's going to be a wicked tour. He's got a new album coming out, so check out the Mr. Ali Ride. That is in UK and in the USA. So
no Canada.
Huge. No Canada. So you're coming down.
Once again, if you want to know more about synthwave events going on near you, just Google synthwave events. The first link that pops up is the Night Ride FM blog entry, where you can find out what we just read.
That's it. That's all you got to do. And I believe we have another track. And
we got some. We got a couple of tracks. Let's blast through these.
Let's hit it home, brother.
All right. UK artist Viper Drive is back. He's been on a little bit of a hiatus, and he's got a beautiful synthwave track that oozes all the sounds and effects we in the scene love. This is Remember Me by Viper Drive, right here on Night Ride FM.
coursing through a decade of events so momentous, so joyful, so tragic. At the end, you think, what happened to me in these past years? But the 80s changed the course of history.
We have seen things happen in Europe and Asia and around the world in science and medicine that will shape the world of the 21st century. And some familiar things and some great people left us. So as we say goodbye to the 80s, we say goodbye to them. Take a look now at the video.
That was Viper Drive with Remember Me. And yeah, man, we're going to go with a 1-2 punch here. We have another track, but in the interim here, yeah, how about that Street Cleaner, Mr. Jules?
He was awesome. I've never wanted to play a game so bad. Like, you don't expect this kind of detail out of a side-scrolling platformer.
Yeah, and again,
it's so cool.
I love how he involves the whole community. I think that's totally cool. We also found out a couple little Easter eggy things. That's also super, like, I guess, because he mentioned some of the Easter eggs, but a lot of little hidden things that we know about and you don't know about yet. But play the game, you're gonna just have a great time because Jesse's an awesome dude. So
yeah. By the way, a quick shout out to Animal, who is in the IRC chats, as well as Phony B.
Phony B
joined us in the YouTube chats. He gives Romulus a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I give it a 7 out of 10.
All right.
Not too far off.
That's not too far off.
it's better than Alien Resurrection. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. All right. So
right.
you're gonna have to give me just a list of like the essential Aliens movies that I gotta watch.
No, dude, 1 and 2. Watch Alien 1979 and Aliens 1986.
All right.
Those are like the best movie. Aliens is literally the best movie ever made.
I will argue
forget
that.
Citizen Kane.
I will debate.
Like Lawrence of Arabia. Forget that nonsense. Aliens is just perfect.
Tell me how you really feel, Jules.
All right, I gotta say goodnight to Temporal Waves. He's in that heading out.
Good night.
Well.
All right,
all right, let's play a track.
Let's play another track and then get ready to wrap it up.
Yep. So 2 of our favorite artists have teamed up once again and come out with another single that hits hard. Jacket from Colorado and Shadowrunner from California deliver this track called Undertow that features some deep beats and melody. You're listening to it right here on Night Ride FM.
And there it is. That was Jacket and Shadowrunner with Undertow. And yeah, I dig that.
Ooh, I love the bass in that.
It's very groovy. And we have come to a new segment of the night where we talk about listener feedback. Yes. Mm-hmm. We're not sure if we want to call it listener feedback or messages and shout outs. I think listener feedback kind of has a nice ring to it. What do you think, Jules?
I think so.
So we'll call it listener feedback, and just let you know, you can go to the stateofsynth.com/message, and you can message us some feedback.
And we'll read it on the air.
We will read it on the air. We have a couple messages that came in on the wire here. One from the Mr. Bending Grid, who I think he was in the IRC earlier. He wants to thank Ace Buchanan for his permission to rework Come Alive,
which is an amazing track.
Which is one of my favorite synthwave tracks of all time. He says, I will not let you down, bro. So, Bending Grid, you better not let him down.
Yeah, if anybody could rework that, I'm sure Bending Grid could.
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know, maybe get a little Taya Flow on there. I don't know. Is that bad form to bump out the original singer? Anna Moore?
Come on. Anna Moore? No. I think maybe get them both.
Get them a little,
Then again, Taya Flow did a cover of Vampires, right?
That's true, yeah.
So, hey,
you could do anything you want in the world of synthwave. So, very good. Kudos. Go get him, Mr. Grid. Mm-hmm. And we have another message here. This is a new listener, also new listener to Night Ride FM. This is from Skips, Skipps. He says he honestly felt right at home. He hasn't been here even a week yet, so that's kind of cool. Nice that everyone's given him a nice warm welcome. He has gained quite a bit of experience from the producers in the group and really made his music shine. It helped him do that. That's great. It's a blessing to be here. It is a blessing to have you, Skips. Thanks for being part of the Night Ride FM community.
I've said it before. A lot of our listeners, a lot of the people in the chats, in the Discord, the IRC, the YouTube chats, they're all producers.
Yeah.
Or a majority of them are, right? So if you are thinking about making music, you've come to the right place, especially if it's synthwave.
That's it. Once again, you can get your message read on the show, possibly, if we like it. Don't just, shout out a bunch of mean things, because we like nice things. But you can go to thestateofsynth.com/message and send us a message, and we will let it be heard. That's it.
Let's talk about Retro Hit Radio.
Retro Hit Radio.
I believe we are still on Retro Hit Radio, which airs down in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yes.
And I think you can catch the schedule if you head to retrohitradio.co.nz. You can see the shows that they have on. You can see the schedule. You can see when we are airing again. It's usually, I think, on a Sunday.
Right. I think so.
And kudos to them for running a channel just like ours. They play retro 80s and synthwave 24/7 on their website. So go check them out, Retro Hit Radio.
All right. And I believe we are closing up our show here. We have one more thing we're going to talk about. Our Patreon, patreon.com/NightRideFM. If you like all the things that Night Ride FM does, the shows, the music, the playlists, the whatever, the YouTube 24/7 channel.
You got a good point. One thing people don't realize is we still got that live playlist going on. I don't know how Z managed to do that.
Yeah.
He's using the Spotify API, but Night Ride has a changing playlist. Literally, whatever's playing on the channel gets stuck into the playlist. So the last 50 songs, it just cycles next track. So you've actually got a real live radio on Spotify.
That's it. Yep, absolutely.
No other playlist does that.
If you're going off, let's say you're going offline, you need to take that Spotify playlist offline, maybe onto a plane, and you want to take those Night Ride FM curated playlists, you can just drop them right in your phone and take them on a plane and just jam out all the way to...
Mark it offline, and there you go. You got 50 tracks.
All the way to wherever it is you're going, because we don't know. I'm sure it's somewhere great.
Patreon.com. I want to give a shout out to our latest Patreons, Abstraction Mage and Thor Flock. Very cool.
Thank you so much for being a Patreon. You can also go to thestateofsynth.com. And right now, just come and stateofsynth.com/message. We're really trying to push that. We want to get more user feedback. We want to get more feedback on if you like the show, if you want to say hi or introduce yourself, or I don't care. I really don't care what it is you send in. If we like it, we'll read it on the air, and that way it's good to get to know people, Jules.
I also want to remind producers out there, if you go to the website submit.nightride.fm, you can submit your tracks to us, which we can either play on this show, we can play on Karen's show, they can be stuck into the rotation on Night Ride FM or the 80s guy, Yeah.
That's it. And yes, that is our show. We want to thank you for listening. We want to send a very big special thanks out to our very good friend Jesse, the street cleaner.
Steamer.
Go pre-order or wish list or whatever it is you kids do. And check out the game. It's really cool. We're going to close you out. Jules, what do we have left to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, we're going to play you out with a track from French artist Jesse Mock's upcoming EP, Street Hawk, which, I mean, obviously, everyone should know, pays homage to that cool TV show from 1985.
Yes.
With the motorcycle.
Yes.
And, of course, that's where he gets his name from. The main character is named Jesse Mock. So, the show featured one of the greatest synth theme songs ever. And this is Jesse's cover of it, right here on Night Ride FM. From all of us here at Night Ride FM, have a great night.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.